Hello everyone, Malphite here, and today we have very exciting news in the LCS off-season, and that is BVOY resigning with Shopify Rebellion. If we look at the roster so far, what we have confirmed, we can see that the Fudge will be in a top lane. That was the first LCS off-season news that we got. Then contracts replacing Tomio in the jungle, which is an upgrade in my opinion. And then we have very interesting leaks that I already made videos about, and that is Nisqy is going to play for Shopify Rebellion, most likely replacing Insanity in the mid lane. And when we saw the leak from Nisqy, he was stating that apparently there will be some sort of a quote-unquote monster import in the AD carry. And, well, some of you have guessed it, but it's actually BVOY. Now, all jokes aside, BVOY was actually a very good AD carry last season. I do not know if you remember, but let's look at the LCS in 2024. Especially, I think, both spring and summer, actually, Berserker was kind of underperforming. So BVOY was one of the best AD carries. I think Masu and Yon kind of stepped up, obviously, when it came to playoffs. But all throughout the regular season, even in the playoffs, right, the BVOY was doing pretty good. I think also Zeyzal was nice, so it's a bit of a shame that Zeyzal will take a bit of a break and he will not continue playing for the next season. But, you know, Faye got Tomio, even Boogie at the beginning. I don't really think, this wasn't really it, but I think Fudge over, where is it? Yeah, let me see. Fudge over Faye got an upgrade. Tomio, contracts over Tomio, I think that's an upgrade as well. Nisqy over Insanity, I think BVOY and Insanity were the two best players on Shopify Rebellion roster, but I still think Nisqy is an upgrade over Insanity. Despite people saying he is washed, I actually do not think that. I think he just had a bit of a slump, he had a bit of a bad year, but I think he will still show in the NA that he is a pretty good mid laner, especially if the roster works together, right? Maybe there will be some issues and maybe the roster will not exactly work together. However, keeping BVOY, I do not mind, actually. I do not mind. I think in the LCS, AD carry position is the weirdest because they had a bit of success with importing mid lanes, but you could import a bot lane, right, like such as Berserker, but I just don't think any good player would want to join Shopify. You could get some fairly good player from like a Korean academy, but you already have BVOY, you already have him under contract. Why not? That's something I kind of look at it as why not. But I think an upgrade. Nisqy is an upgrade. BVOY is a side grade because it's the same player, right? And then in a support position, we're mostly going to have just another side grade. And saying that, in the previous video, I mistakenly thought it was Loopy, but I did not realize that Nisqy and BVOY or any other import, they both count as import, and since there is a 2 import rule, we cannot have a Korean player coming for support position. And so the rumored player coming from the Latin America region is most likely Ackerman. This guy is pretty good. He's already been showing some promise, still 21 years old. And so, I think this guy, most likely the new player for the Shopify Rebellion. And so if we look at the roster, Fudge contracts, Nisqy, BVOY, most likely Ackerman. This is not confirmed 100%, but it's the name that I've been hearing the most. And so this kind of roster, some people are not very exciting. They're like, oh yeah, we're getting a washed up mid laner, we're getting BVOY who spent 4 years in Brazil and is 27. We're getting, Fudge who didn't really do well in Cloud9, and the only person hyping him up is really LS. Right, and we get Contract, who was a really good jungle, but that was like he got all the hype on NRG, against right when they beat G2 in the last year's Worlds, right? So many people are skeptic, but I think just looking player by player, we have mostly upgrades, and I think it's pretty good upgrades throughout the whole roster. And I think that just that is definitely going to make this roster better. The question is, how much better is it going to make the roster, right? Because you have FlyQuest, you have Team Liquid, they will most likely not change their rosters that much. You'll have Cloud9, which, again, they will probably not change Thanatos, Blabber, or Vulcan. So their roster will be probably Thanatos, Blabber, Loki, Sven, Vulcan, which again is a pretty solid roster. It's like, will you be better than Cloud9? Yeah, I don't know, right? And then 100 Thieves, we still don't know about the roster, but I think even with this roster, it will be really hard to crack the top 3 in the LCS, but we know there will be 6 more teams coming in the southern part, in the whole Americas region. And so that might be actually interesting to see how well the LCS, the former LCS, and the other teams will mesh up. And that's something that I'm actually really, really excited for. And so I want to hear your thoughts, not only on this BVOY move, although that's what this video is mainly about, but also on the whole roster. And so you can basically just give me your thoughts on Fudge, Contracts, Nisqy, BVOY, and Ackerman. If you think it's someone else than Ackerman, then you can also say, you were wrong, you didn't do your research or whatever, I heard something else, and so on. I'm open to all the commenters, all the comments. Please hit the subscribe. I really, really am trying to get 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Like the video, it will help me so much. I'm looking forward to all your reactions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.